Who is the best player in the Premier League at the moment? We are a decent way through the season, and so that we can make this accurate assumption, completely based on our opinion. Completely based on what we think. Of course, you're going to take statistics into account, current form. I'm not saying these players are going to be the best overall. I already have a few players in there that I think are already going to be the best players no matter what. But at the moment, my list is adjusted because there are some players that are just firing on all cylinders. Getting to the first candidate, Jason, we'll probably make a choice at the end of it. Diego Costa. Let's take a look at some of the stats that were thrown around as he reached a landmark quicker than that of Sergio Aguero. Run the tweet. Diego Costa has scored his 40th Premier League goal in his 64th appearance. 7 games faster than it took Sergio Aguero. Lethal.
By the way, 40 goals in 71 games is still very, very impressive.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Has Diego Costa been more fit than Sergio Aguero through his first 64?
Sergio Aguero started to really become more injury prone as he got past his kind of first set of games.
Okay, that's what
Sergio Aguero had immediate impact in the Premier League. I think that, as you mentioned, getting 40 goals in that amount of games is definitely an achievement in the Premier League, where it's harder to score.
Right.
Diego Costa absolutely deserves a place in this candidacy as best player in the Premier League at the moment. He is lethal. He is a handful for any defenders. He's scoring from outside the box. He banged one in recently. You mentioned he only scored 2 from outside the box in those
out of those 40. Yeah.
So he's more of an in-the-box poacher, and he's working very well in that system. He is he's the pinnacle of that offense that Antonio Conte is running. They've banged in 11 goals and only conceded 0 since they changed it in the league against Arsenal.
I thought a 3-4-3 wasn't going to work. Which said a lot. It's not that I didn't think it was going to work, actually. It's that I thought it was going to take time. So I thought going into the season that Chelsea would not be sitting in contention. I thought they'd be top 8.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think they have the squad depth to be top 8. I just thought it was going to take some time. These players went from playing a 4-4-3 to a 3-4-3.
And a 4-5-1. I mean, many of them adjust.
So they adjust, but for the most part, it's not an easy task to get everybody on the same page in such a short amount of time. I want to read Antonio Conte's quotes because I like how he handles himself.
Yes.
I like how he handles himself in press conferences. I like that he's very serious. I think it's like a very big counter. You have a lot of personalities between the managers. There's Jose Mourinho, who barely speaks. He speaks as low as I do on clips. You have Jurgen Klopp, who you want to have a beer with. And you have Antonio Conte, who, it's a respectful amount of professionalism that you can see from him. So here's the 2 quotes back-to-back on Conte's thoughts about the season. It's early for us to speak about title contenders. We can improve a lot. We must improve after the first part of the season. During January, I can tell more about this run. He continues to say, I'm pleased to see my players working very hard during the game, with and without the ball. We know that the road is long, but the confidence is increasing. If you ask me for a prediction or an expectation of our championship, it's very difficult to talk about this. It's important to pass the first part of the season. Then, when the start of the second part, our ideals will be more clear. So even he is aware enough to say, it's working right now, but it might not in another couple matches. Let's see what happens in January. And I hope in January he says, come back to me in March.
Yeah, we'll see. He's very humble, in May. And he's taking it bit by bit. We all know that the Premier League season, it comes around so that you have certain months where you hit form. As we all know, as the tweet, which I'll throw up here from the Football Republic, November is coming, as they put it in Game of Thrones terms, for Arsenal, who on record averaged the lowest amount of points during November as they do in comparison to the other months. So this will be a big test for Arsenal.
Is it the first cold weather games?
No, it's always cold. It's nothing
just
to do
always
with
cold?
weather.
I don't know.
It's just a month.
Spitballing ideas here.
It's just a month where they just really struggle, I think. And, that might play into their mindset. As soon as they drop their first set of points, everyone, I see it's November. That's what happens. It's that month. But this Arsenal team is a little different this year, and hence why I'm going to throw in their candidate who just banged in his 8th and 9th goal of the season at the weekend, Alexis Sanchez.
Yes.
One of the most informed players at the moment. Movement off the ball, clinical finishing. And this is what frustrates me about Arsenal, because if he was to do that consecutively and capitalise off of Theo Walcott's fine run of form, they don't need a central striker, but it's keeping that up throughout the season. It's keeping up the Sanchez's run of forms. Because if Sanchez can go on a hot run, then Theo Walcott, who he already has done, on a hot run.
That already.
And then Ozil maybe goes on a hot run of goal scoring. That kind of makes up for the 20, 30 goals you need from a striker.
Okay, devil's advocate. Wouldn't it be, I know we're just talking about best player, but here's an idea, spitballing idea. Wouldn't it be better if they can all be on the same run of form at the same time? Not all be playing bad together, that's not good. But is it going to, I guess the point being here for Arsenal, if they're going to contend with players like Sanchez, who can be the best player in the Premier League this year, and Ozil, who can be. And Theo Walcott has showed that maybe for a splash or a month, he can be a Premier League player of the month on maybe a month-to-month basis. Can they win if they're not all together? They're not all playing that way. Because I look at Chelsea, I look at Arsenal, and I know Arsenal fans already hate the channel because we talk so badly about them. I would take Chelsea over Arsenal right now, all together, because they seem like they're playing better together. Outside of Costa, everyone's not really standing out. They're meshing.
What happens with Arsenal that is a valid point is that they often don't have, they've shown in the past, they don't have what it takes to overcome an adverse situation in a game and drag out a result, maybe a 1-0 or a 2-1, really scrappy performance. They've been banging teams 4-5-1, and that's all well and good because all those players are banging in goals together. Ozil, Sanchez not as much, but Ozil in the past has proven that he's a confidence player. If they are playing well, he is one of the best players in the park. He's one of the best players in the world. You want him on your team. We've seen him last season in tough games against opponents that are really sticking the boot in, really putting a lot of high pressure, and he doesn't want to be seen. He doesn't want to be there. And there's a lot of players on Arsenal's team that I've seen go along with that. Theo Walcott at times has done it. So Olivier Giroud, they need to find a way to win games when they're not all on that high confidence playing field. They need to find a way to drag out a result, which is why the Man United teams of the past under Alex Ferguson could always do it. That's why it was called Fergie time, as I talked about in another clip. They used to say that they would always score in Fergie time, which was in the 5th or 6th minute of added time, which Fergie always used to get added on for some reason. But it wasn't just that the time was permitting. It's that they believed they could win those games even when they weren't playing as well in last-minute goals. So I want to see that more so from Arsenal, especially during the month of November where they apparently struggle. Maybe they have to go and travel against an away team. Maybe it's a tough day at Stoke. Maybe it's a tough day against Hull, and they drag out a result. But no other team in the Premier League, aside from Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, have shown in Manchester City that they can do that. Man United have fallen by the wayside. So this is a Premier League era where you can slip up a few games but still definitely go on and win the league. So Sanchez is definitely a good candidate. And then taking us back to Liverpool, as we mentioned.
Coutinho. Wrong yo.
People are going crazy in the comments because I said on his day he's the best number 10 in the league. I don't understand how you can disagree with that. I really don't. I understand difference of opinions. Ozil's a great number 10. Kevin De Bruyne moving into that role plays as a 10. Silva's fantastic in that role.
Best in the league or best in the world?
Best in the league.
Premier,
that's what I mean. If I said best in the world, come on, right? I get it. You can freak out all you want, even though you probably could be top 5.
Still tipsy from the punch on
yeah,
Halloween.
Still tipsy from it. Yeah, I understand. But best in the league? Come on. Get outside of your mindset that these players are so unbeatable. Coutinho, when he is on his day, as he's proven the last 2-3 weeks, can slice open any opponent. He's so shifty, he's so creative, he's so intelligent. He undoubtedly, at this moment in time, is one of the best players in the Premier League. Is he the best on form at the moment? I don't know. I still would go between the first two that I suggested, Costa and Sanchez, but he is a frightening player. He is frightening for that team and crucial. And that's what I talked about. The Guardian actually put a headline that I loved. It was like 10 things we took away. And it's like, Liverpool on their crazy roller coaster ride could win the league. Like craziness, like 5-2 games, 4-1 games, next minute,
5-4, 4-3.
5-4. Like it would be just fantastic to watch that actually.
I want to see Jurgen Klopp celebrate and drink out of the Premier League. You get to drink out of the Bundesliga.
He will do it.
I want to see someone drink out of the Premier League.
He will do it. He would do it.
That'd be great.
There's no doubt. He'd be the first one.
If you got to drink one adult beverage out of the Premier League trophy that you raised, what would it be? Would it be a beer? Be a Guinness? Be tough to clean that trophy. Would it be a Red Bull and vodka?
You know what I think? I like this rum called Havana 7.
Just pour it.
I like a Havana
straight?
7 with a little bit of
Talk
Coke.
about a
little bit of Coke.
A little bit of Coke in a big Premier League trophy. You have to make it equal.
You got to do the damage.
You can't just put a little bit of Coke.
I'm not going to be sipping it.
And then barrels of Premier League trophy vodka
I'm not going to be able to pull a full beer and just sit there as if I'm sipping at a pub. It's huge, so I'll just need to take one bang.
I'd bring it to the pub. I'd say, oh, I'm sorry, is my Premier League trophy in the way of you?
Is my Premier League trophy too big for your pub?
I'm sorry.
And then I think we've got to give the mentions to the last two, right? So Kevin De Bruyne, before he had that minor mishap, was far and away the best player in the Premier League. He was out on his own. He was standing in the middle of the wilderness,
he was
butt naked, with his ginger hair flying around, being like, come touch me. That's weird. But no one can touch me because I'm the best in the league. So, yes, he was. But his minor mishap, he still is. He's still up
guy from Family Guy. That's what he basically was. He can't catch me.
No one can touch him. No one can touch him. But as Sergio Aguero proved again at the weekend, reminded us all, oh, Well, Man City are going to be all right because they just need.
They got back to winning. They got that was their first win in the last 7
against
results.
West Brom.
They were
worst run of form in Pep Guardiola's history.
I believe they were No, LD.
Yeah, they were.
Initials of your
They
dog.
were struggling.
Blue dog.
Yes.
Blue dog.
It was Guardiola hadn't had a winless streak like that in any domestic campaigns.
The apples were going to Bundesliga and Premier League. And when in La Liga, they're apples to oranges debates.
Yeah.
They really are. They're different leagues. They require different tactics, formations, managerial duties to win.
Yes.
So
You have
he
to
might
be
not have
versatile.
had those problems in other leagues. However, the competition wasn't like that of other leagues compared to the Premier League.
I think if you
teams
needed-
are more balanced in terms of you
Top to
can
bottom.
lose to a hole
Yeah.
on any given day.
And I think that's where that's the perfect case study for those that will like rip the Premier League is, again, I think this just needs to be the bumper sticker.
Premier League.
It's not that it's the best league in the world for quality. We get it.
competitive.
It's the most competitive and the most entertaining that way because I like competition. If you don't like competition, then it's not the best to you. That's completely fine. But I think Pep Guardiola's recent turmoil is an example of how difficult it can be.
Yes.
He's got a great team, far and away a better team than anyone in the league. On squad, top
So
to
did
bottom.
Manuel Pellegrini.
But he still struggles because you can be the best of the best, but sometimes it really is hard to try and get things right in the Premier League. So I think those are, for me, the 4 candidates. There's great candidates throughout. There's still going to be players. Maybe there's a shout out there for Romelu Lukaku. Maybe there's a shout out there for someone that you think deserves it. Maybe David De Gea on his day still is giving the goalkeeper a shout. And Kante coming into his own. There's plenty of players in there.
I like Conte.
But I think at the moment, for me, I like Diego Costa. I think he's the most informed player in the Premier League at the moment.
All right,
That's my
Diego
choice.
Costa, it is.
Some
Keep
love
it
for
low.
Diego. Are you going to
Keep
choose
it
one?
low.
You're going to sit on that fence. You're going to straddle the fence.
Well, I'd like to see Liverpool win the Premier League. I think
Coutinho it is.
I've never. No. That would curse it. So I'm also going to say Diego Costa.
Nice.
So Chelsea's form just to dip.
Well, let us know what you think. I'm sure you're already in uproar. I'm sure you haven't even sat through to this point in the clip and heard that decision. You probably just went nuts at the fact that Diego Costa was on the thumbnail and it wasn't your famous... Who's a better player that you love? Paul Pogba. Doesn't even make them.
I still love Paul Pogba.
No, he
Mario
played-
Balotelli
he
when he
played
comes
decent.
back.
He played decent at the weekend,
When he
but-
comes back in January, after the transfer window from playing in Nice, is going to join Stoke.
And
That'd
then
be
go
great.
back to his goalless streak. Don't move. Balotelli, you're in a
Totally
nice,
come
you're in a
back.
nice position.
Come back. Baby, come back.